Button.
Oh, you could take me off. Put it
No,
on just you whenever I'm like gone
no,
or
we
something.
don't. We're going full blast, girl. You know this is new to me. I'm a rookie. You a professional. Hey, hi everybody doing? Good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you for joining me. Just in case you're joining me for the very first time, I'm your host, the one they call Brian Glaze Gibbs. And this is my ministry, this is my platform. I try to keep it as squeaky clean as possible. And anybody that know anything about me, they know my past, like how, say I went astray, I became like that lost sheep, and it's only because of the grace of God and his mercy that I am here today. I'm not going to talk about my past. What I'm going to talk about right now, when I was out there as a lost sheep, doing things I shouldn't be doing, making, illegal money, hustling. A lot of times people feel that hustle is illegal. Hustle do not have to be illegal. A lot of times right now, all men and women rich in their own thoughts and ideals, but it's up to them to put it in effect. So with that being said, is like when I was out there, everybody said, man, at one point in time, you made $40,000 a day. But you know what? When I made $40,000 a day, I was not happy. So here it is. They're like, you made 40 a day and you was not happy? Why you wasn't happy? Because I knew in my heart and my mind and my spirit, I was earning it wrong. I did it the wrong way. I was a kid between the age of, 14 and 24. I became something that I wasn't. And you know what? I fell in love with the street. I fell in love with fast money and I want to hustle. But the difference is now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring in people that can help people understand that you do not have to hustle illegally. You can hustle legally. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to the queen, Shateka. Take it away, young lady.
All right, take it away. All right. So, hi, my name is Shateka Husser, and I am definitely a financial planner as well as a, retirement consultant and a life insurance broker. One of the things I do is I help people retire ahead of schedule or on schedule. But the goal really today and tonight, I should say, is to really discuss, the differences between a qualifying, plan for retirement versus a tax-free retirement account. Most people know about the qualifying plan. And so I really want to deep dive into what that is, what that looks like, right? So if you're on maybe a W-2, right, working on a job, you probably have a 401k, or you may have a TSP if you're in the military, or you may have a 403b if you're in a nonprofit, or 457. You may even have a SEP IRA. But whatever it is that you have, that those types of plans are called qualifying plans because they're government backed, and they primarily are going to benefit the government, right? And we know that. And that's why I'm having this conversation with you today. I really need you to understand that. So yes, for example, the 401k, you may get the company match, which is awesome because you can get free money. But just know that when it's all said and done, you will have paid taxes, you will have paid fees for that 401k plan. Now, it's okay to get all that free money, and then some people like to convert that over after they get the money, right? So that they don't have to pay those taxes. We know that taxes are going to go up in the future. We know this. We just don't know how much it's going to go up in the future. But we know it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when and how, so that's what tonight is really about. Having a tax-free retirement account. So, the two number one ways that your finances are eaten up by termites is going to be by what? Taxes and interest, high credit cards, high loan interest, those types of things, right? As well as taxes. But I can help you with the taxes tonight. So here's what we're talking about. With a tax-free retirement account, you're going to have so many more benefits than you have with any type of qualifying plan that you could ever imagine. Let's start talking about that really quickly. Number one, with a tax-free retirement account, you're not going to pay any taxes. Can anybody say zero taxes? Okay. And then you're also going to be able to leave a legacy for your children's children. Okay. We're talking about leaving a nice sizable amount that your qualifying plan is not going to be able to give you. All right. The other thing is that you're going to be able to have some type of medical emergency fund, right, account. So let's say if you become chronically, critically, or terminally ill. If any of those things happen with a qualifying plan, you're going to have to dig inside that account and have to pay for it. All right. Well, here's the deal. When you have a tax-free retirement account, you get to use your death benefit up to 80, 90, in some cases 100%, depending on the actual medical challenge that you're having. So let's say you have cancer, dementia, heart attack, stroke, any of these types of things, right? And so many others. We're talking about chronically, critically, or terminally ill or chronically injured as what? Defined by the policy. And that's what we're talking about, right? So when you have that, it's going to be able to pay. You're also going to have the ability to make money in your sleep, because we know that Warren Buffett says you have to figure a way how to stop losing money. That's why we're talking about these taxes. He said that's the number one rule. And number two rule is to do number one, don't lose any money. And how do you keep your money? You have it in some type of an index universal life plan. All right. And the goal here is to really make sure that, one, you have legacy that's being built, right, that you can leave behind. And if you don't have any children, maybe you leave it to a charity, some type of cause. That's number one. Number two, you have access to your medical bills being paid without you having to go bankrupt like so many people do in retirement. Think about it. A house, it's going to break down after so many years. You got to, repair it, restore it. Your car, same thing. Your body is the same way. And most people do not plan in retirement to have the medical challenges that they may end up having. And unfortunately, they go bankrupt with medical bills. 60% of bankruptcies are what? Primarily going to be somewhere around having some type of medical challenge that wasn't planned for. The rich and the wealthy 1% know this. So none of them use anything that starts with a 4. Remember I talked about those 4s, 401, 403B, 457s. They don't use anything that starts with a 4 because they understand that is not the way to maximize tax freedom, right? And they want to be tax free. You think about these companies that don't pay taxes and you're like, why are they able to get away with it? You can get away with the same thing. You just don't know about it. You don't know how to do it. You don't know how to structure a tax-free retirement account. And that is what we're talking about tonight. You have got to figure out how to do that. Now, I just told you some of the reasons why you want to have a tax-free retirement account versus having a qualifying plan. And so, Brian, could you talk for just 1 second? Because I got to say something really quickly to somebody.
Okay. Sit back and think about what she's saying. And to me, what I'm saying is like, how do you hustle legally? The difference is when people talk about hustle, you think about hustle as illegal. But the difference is, as I'm listening to her and I'm saying to myself, and I'm listening to some of the things that she utilizing, I'm saying, damn. Imagine if I had her in my corner way back when I was out there and I had my toe into that illegal activity. You know what? I could have took some of her advice. And right now, take some of that money, still buy that package that I need to provide and poison my community. But then again, I could take the other money and put it towards like how to get out of this game, how to hustle legally. Because after a while, when you hustle illegally, guess what's going to happen? The Fed's going to kick in your door. You know what I'm saying? The stick-up kid's going to come in, kicking your door and want to blow your head off and take what you got. So the difference is I don't want no part of that. Eventually, how long do you think you're going to last in that type of field? So what I'm doing is I'm listening to her and I'm listening to the words that come out of her mouth and I'm holding on to it and I'm taking heed, because the worst thing can happen in your life is you don't have. And then you just don't have. But then again, everybody that you go to, hey, Bob, can I get this? You go to your sister, you go to your brother, you go to your mother, you go to your father, you go to your wife, your husband. Can I get this? They can't give you something they don't have. They want to give it to you, but if they don't have it, then what? So now what I'm looking at, what we need to do to make sure we never in that predicament, making sure that we always planning for the future. Because once again, life going to happen to each and every one of us. Are we going to be ready?
Absolutely. And so I wanted to mention something else, the lifetime tax-free retirement income. That is something that you do not get with a qualifying plan. Now, I don't know how you set it up. You for the rest of your life, you're going to run out of money around the 70s, maybe younger, whenever you have a qualifying plan. And that is the fear that most people have is, when do I run out of money? And so they end up going back to work in retirement. Have you seen people that are like greeters or different things, and they're like in their 70s and 80s? I've worked around them. It's unfortunate because they didn't have the right person. Some people don't use financial advisors, but every financial advisor is not going to tell you what I'm telling you today, because most financial advisors don't make money from the tax-free retirement account. They make money from putting it in stocks and other types of accounts that has high fees, what we're calling underwater fees, that don't have to be disclosed to you. They have to only disclose to you the above water fees. So most people get into those stocks and different things because they don't get to see all those fees that are coming out. But with a tax-free retirement account, that is something that is definitely not going to happen as much as it will with those other types of qualifying plans with an advisor. They're going to put, like I said, put your money in some other things. It's going to seem like it's growing fast, but it's growing fast with a lot of fees. And it doesn't give you the opportunity to have that lifetime tax-free retirement income, money that will never run out, that you will never outlive. Okay, can you imagine a never-ending source of money? I want y'all to imagine that. You can structure an account, especially if you have the right type of money that you're making, right? Depending on, it doesn't matter what amount you have, you're just going to have a smaller amount lifetime versus a larger amount lifetime. Let's say you're a six-figure earner. You can structure an account to be able to give you a six-figure income, depending on your age, right? The younger you are, the more money you're going to get in retirement, of course, right? But at the end of the day, no matter what your age is, no matter what amount you put in, if you're using a tax-free retirement account, your money will never run out. It is structured that way. So I really need you to really just picture that and really have a paradigm shift and a different perspective in terms of your retirement account and what that can look like, because those qualifying plans are great for the government. They benefit the government. I want you to pick up a book, and I'm not getting anything for this. I probably should have wrote the book, but The Power of Zero really explains a lot about what I'm talking about. If you want to do your research, I know some of you like to Google things and do your research. Well, The Power of Zero is really going to help you in terms of that. It's written by David McKnight. And I believe that you'll get a lot of value out of that book. I'm one that do a lot of books, a lot of audibles. There's a lot of information out there. But I just really want to come on here tonight and really share with you and see what questions that you may have. All right. And definitely, my name is Shateka. You can put my information on the screen if you like, if anybody wants to make contact with me. But the goal really is to speak about the reasons why you need to be in a tax-free retirement account already. Okay. If you haven't, time is of the essence, right? Because the more money you're paying into these other accounts, the less control you have. Number one, you don't have the control. You have a lot of risk. Okay, you have risk. There is no risk with a tax-free retirement account. You're going to have to pay your medical bills later on in life if you end up having any medical challenges, right? That's not that it covers every medical, but some people have that gap where they're waiting on a Medicare to kick in, by the time they retire. Because let me tell you something, retirement is not an age. It's not 65 or 71. Retirement is an income. And so if I can help you with an income, wow, and tell you this is how you put your money, where you put your money at, you won't have any challenges if later on. You can sleep at night. You can have peace of mind. You will run out of a W-2 because you're like, I already know I'm set up. There are people that's coming in our offices crying. They're losing $300,000, $800,000 during the pandemic because they had to end these qualifying plans. But a tax-free retirement account has zero risk. I know it sounds too good to be true, but I can show you the proof, and I can show you a whole lot of information on this if you want to see that. Because, a lot of times people, Brian, they're really skeptics. And I like to see these people that are skeptics have skeptic bank accounts. That's what it is. And so when they begin to really explore other options and opportunities in terms of how to do their retirement accounts or how to do any type of account, they begin to see how the rich and wealthy really play the game. So you want to know how they're playing it, but then we become skeptics. No, you can't be a skeptic. You got to realize that this is what they're doing. This is how the rich play the game. They are small business owners are using tax-free retirement accounts to not pay taxes. That's how Amazon got by. Here's what they do. They basically give you, a tax-free account based on how you structure your business, right? You can structure your business in a C Corp. Right. And I'm going to put this disclaimer out there. I am not a tax professional by profession, but all of my tax professionals that are around me will tell you that they structure their clients into a C Corp account. Right. And so now they can actually name themselves as an executive in their business. And what they do is they write off the premium because they name themselves as the executive. Right. And so they give themselves an executive bonus. That's part of the executive bonus package, having that tax-free retirement account in their name. And what they do is they do a tax deductible premium payment. Okay, that's tax deductible. And then they take out a loan when it makes all of this money, because here's the deal. You have a certain amount of money that you can put in a qualifying plan. There's a limit that the government gives for all those qualifying plans. You can only put a little bit of money in those every year, right? You think $5,500 or whatever. But with this particular account, you can actually put a whole lot more. The ceiling is so much higher. We have a lot of real estate investors. They're funding their deals. They're funding their portfolios out of their tax-free retirement account. So if you have your business in a C Corp, you get to write it off. You get to take out the loan tax-free. And oh, by the way, if you don't pay it back, it's just subtracted from your death benefit. That's all. It's no big deal. Go ahead. I see your finger up. You got the one finger out like this.
Yeah. Thank you. You know what? Listen, I'm listening to everything that you're saying, and even right now with some of the things that you have shared with me, which is definitely a blessing. Because once again, like, when you've been a bad boy all your life, and you know what, you get tired of being a bad boy and you try and do good. Because once again, I'm trying to fund. Like, I got a lot of people that out there want to do my story, but what I'm trying to do is, and that's why I'm dealing with you, to invest, to do different things. So I want to be able to control to, fund my own documentary 25 years later. And even right now, as I'm thinking about this, I want to, how do I do this banner right now? I can hit that banner button because I want the ticker. I want to hit the banner button.
The ticker and it'll come on.
That's what hold on, come show. See, because I want people to know who you are, what you are, and what you're doing or whatever. And to me, you know what? I am a big fan of yours. I've been following you for several years. Like people that don't know, I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. But the difference is my family is from Monk's South Carolina. So I am geeky. You know what? Ain't no shame in my game.
I'm sure they probably heard by Geech.
No, but the difference is right now is, see, that's what I love because I can understand you. I can understand the words that coming out your mouth. And I can, this, like I told you right now, I've been following you for quite some time. And even right now, since we've been in contact, you have inspired me. You have enlightened me. You have encouraged me. You have empowered me. And the difference is based upon I've had so much of negative and so much of downfall in my life. I don't mess with negative people. I don't mess with negative energy. If you didn't have that magnet, you got this magnet about yourself. As I was telling you about this engagement I saw a few years ago when you was out in Maryland, they was having a lot of technical difficulty. You know what? You didn't let that faze you. You didn't let that bother you. You stood on that stage and got your message across despite all the difficulty. And I'm like, whoa. See, right now, guess what? When you geeky, you know what you can't do? You can't shame. You can't shame.
You can't shame. Never let them see you sweat.
So look, but
you inspire me as well. And thank you for, sharing your platform with me and with your followers and everything. So I do appreciate that.
Mine is yours, Shateka. What mine, if I got a platform, is your platform.
Right.
Because once again, what you're doing and what you're showing me, guess what? What good to have knowledge? What good to have advice? What good to have information if you don't have anybody to share it with? That's being selfish.
That's true. I want to answer the question. I see the comments here. Blanks Brannick is asking a question. I'm seeing all your comments, guys, just so you know. I just didn't want to interrupt. But he asked, let's say someone has $25,000 they would like to put into this retirement account. Can it be at one time or increments? It can be at one time. But let me tell you, what happens is a MEC could occur, right? And a lot of times for that amount of money, let's say this. It has to be proportionate to what their death benefit is. So the higher their death benefit is, the more money that they can put inside their policy, right? Without it MECing out is what we call it. A MEC stands for a modified endowment contract, meaning that the government says that this policy is a policy until you put too much money into it and it becomes a taxable event. So certain amounts of money will trigger it to be a taxable event. But that amount is so much higher than what the qualifying plan gives you in terms of what you can put into it in terms of an index universal life, right? So the goal is to, for $25,000, if it's say a $200,000 policy, it probably will MEC at $25,000. And it depends on the age of the individual, all that good stuff. All that's going to determine how much money you can put into the policy, because the policy is written based on your age, your gender, and your health. Those three things are going to determine what your premium is going to be, right? And how much money you can put inside that policy. So let's say you're a young individual, maybe you're, 30 years old, you're preferred health, you know what I mean? And maybe you're female because we live longer. You could put a lot more money. Yeah, we are. So what do you think the average person lives, But no, you can put a lot more money into that, but you can't put 25. Yeah, that's exactly right. So you can put $25,000 into it for the year. You just can't do it at one time because that's going to create a MEC. But you can do 25,000, divide that by 12. You can put that amount of money. You could never put that inside of a qualifying plan, but you can absolutely put that in for the right death benefit amount into a policy. Like, for example, there's a young man, he's 35 years old, and he has about this person is 55 years old, this individual. He's 55 years old. He has a $500,000 policy. He can put up to $35,000 in his particular policy per year, and it won't make out. Okay, so let's say he wants to do real estate investing. He makes $30,000 on one of his deals. He can put that inside his policy, let it grow, let it compound for him on the side, pull it out to fund his next property, for example. But it just depends, again, on the size of your policy amount to determine how much money you can put in per year and without it becoming a mech. So hopefully that makes it great. You understood. Awesome. So what other questions are out there? Go ahead with the one finger.
You know what? Okay, here it is. Even though you know my background, you know everything I've been through. Imagine, a lot of times people feel that they're forced into doing, illegal activity. So to me, even back then, had I knew you and ran into you or was able to have the ability to communicate with a person like you back then when I was making $40,000 a day, the wrong way, hustling. How will you get me to turn around and say, listen, the same way you hustling, you can still hustle, but you can hustle legally? How would you have told me that, Shateka?
Yeah, so basically, everybody has a little hustle in them. It's just about the product or service that you're hustling. So if I could tell you one thing, I would have said, what if there's a way I could show you how to make that same amount of money online without having to risk your life, to be able to do it legally and make an impact and influence people's lives? You could literally do financial services. This is not my background. You know my background. I was an Army officer. I served the country. I was a captain in the Army, served in Germany, lived over there 5.5 years, and 2 years over here. So, my background is not financial services, but this is like easy math to learn, to be able to help people, and make an impact. I would tell you something like, come on board. I can help you make that same amount of money. I can show you how to build a team of people, other insurance brokers, financial planners that can help, financial advisors that can help other people. Now, instead of destroying our community, I can show you how to help our community. And you can do it just like that. Because if you know how to do math, because you know how to do what you're doing, math, 3rd grade, 5th grade, that's all. This is not hard. You do not need to know college level math to be able to do financial services. You just need to understand the concept and be able to speak to people and be able to present. And if you could do that, you got that skill set, being able to speak, be able to communicate clearly and effectively, you could do this. And I know you can communicate effectively by making $40,000 a day. I know that. So why don't we just take that over to a different product, a different service, and make an impact in our community and help our community win versus destroying our community? That's what I would say.
Okay.
Would you come on board if I did that, if I said that? Or you would say, nah, I can't do that?
It all depends. The bottom line is now is I believe in, when you listen to people and you listen to words that come out of people's mouth and you look into their eyes, you got to get that vibe. And that's to true. Me, you got that energy about yourself. You got your imaginary magnet. That the difference is right now, even though I do not want to sway, left or right, you got, whoa, wait a minute here. Listen to the words, and the words that you're saying is so powerful. And right now, the conviction in your word. Well, as far as when you talk about retire before you expire, let's sit back and think about that word, retire before you expire. That's a powerful concept. How you came up with that concept?
Yep. So expire, think about it. I have my two closest, if you can imagine right now, I just want to paint this picture. Your two closest friends, who are they? Who are your two closest friends in the whole world right now? Yeah. In this season of your life? In seasons of our lives, seasons change, relationships change, people change. But in this season of your life right now, who are the two closest people to you? Let's imagine those two people dying within 4 days. 4 days from one another. And there's no warning. There's no notification. It was just sudden. They died from the flu. Not the COVID, but the flu. This is exactly what happened to me in 2018. One was a solopreneur, single, no children, died alone in her home. The other one was a HR executive, all right, worked a lot of hours. They both worked a lot of hours. They never had the opportunity to retire. So what if I could have helped them retire and live life and live their calling instead of just their career, so that they can really, do what it is that they wanted to do? And with their passion and their purpose. And maybe, they could have found somebody, or maybe been in a good, healthy relationship because they had time for a relationship. You know what I mean? Because they both were single. One was divorced, the other one was single. So retire before you expire that retirement means that retirement is not an age. Like I said, it's an income. And if I can help you get an income, you're going to leave that W-2. You're going to, because you want to live. You want to travel. You want to be with your family. You know what I mean? Maybe you want to do it part-time. Maybe you don't want to do it full-time. But you want to retire and have the option to work and not have to work. And so that's what retire before you expire means to me, and why I said retire before you expire. Because at the end of the day, we all have to live. We all have to live.
You know what? Powerful, powerful, powerful. But the next question I want to ask you, how can we invest in purchasing abandoned homes in our community to begin rebuilding?
Purchasing abandoned homes. Literally, you can partner with the city to do that. They are always looking for people that will be able to give back and build up the community. There's economical grants out there right now that's helping people do just that. You just have to have a good plan together and go in between getting a grant and, partnering with the community leaders. Is not hard. It's not a hard task to do at all. I know in Baltimore, they had those dollar homes for a while and things of that nature. I mean, it's really about doing the research. We research everything else. We research what we want to research. If we can go to school for 4 years to get a degree that doesn't guarantee us anything, we can certainly research that to go and make some money, right? It's just a matter of how we want to prioritize our time, and make time block. That's all it is. Land bank website. There you go. So Brandon, he's definitely in the building. And Damon Stewart say Mastodon is in the building. But yeah, you really can just do the research, man. I mean, it's a lot of different avenues to be able to build back the block and everything like that. There's all types of grants out there. If you have any type of qualifying plan, did you know that you could actually turn your 401k into what's called a solo 401, which is what I did. Before I left corporate, I purchased some homes, and that's how I was able to leave corporate, because I ended up purchasing some different homes and becoming a multi-property landlord. And now I'm a solopreneur. I do what I want to do. I don't have to work for anybody if I don't have, want to. But at the end of the day, I took my 401k plan, and in that season, before I knew about all of this, because I could have did a different thing. I didn't tell you about this, but for people that make six figures, you could actually guarantee a lifetime income with a larger catch-up plan. So for every dollar that you put in, you can get $3 guaranteed, but you just have to have a certain income, unfortunately, for that particular product. There's a lot of products out here that can do what you need done. You know what I mean? I guarantee $3 for every dollar that you put in. All you got to do is show tax, what's it called? The tax paperwork for the last 2 years that show that. But to fund your actual projects, there's all types of ways. The 401k, the IRA, you can lend to somebody else, out of your IRA, but you can't borrow against your own IRA. So you, my friend, we both going to go and do this, real estate investing together. Well, I want to borrow $50 from you out of your IRA. You can borrow $50 from me out of my IRA. I'll give you a 0%, interest payment, and we got an agreement, and this is how we're going to do it. So you can, between people, find somebody. Private money lending is the best, most inexpensive way to do any type of funding, okay? Because you could talk to, if they know that you can do what you're doing, and it's you're reputable, they'll give you their money, other people money, right? At the lower interest rate. If you go to these hard money lenders out here, you're going to the bank, okay? I mean, they're gonna take your money. They're like 10, 15. Now it's come down because of everything that's going on with the pandemic, of course. But yeah, I mean, you could literally do your IRAs, you can do your solo 401k, and redirect your 401k to you, and you become the custodian of your 401k. You, of course, in most cases, have to be already out of that position and have access to your 401k. But yeah, I mean, I did it. I did all of the whole account with real estate. So those are some of the ways that you can fund it.
You know what? Like powerful.
Yes, Long Beach, a dollar home. They did have them. Let me tell you, the inventory I know a couple of years ago was like 46,000 vacant homes in Baltimore. It's definitely an up and coming area. You want to get there while it's cheap. Baltimore, Detroit, yeah, very, very cheap. All right, so index and ETF. So that's what we're talking about tonight. Index, universal life. So index meaning that you can participate in the market when it goes up in terms of your policy, but you don't participate in the losses. So people that participate in stocks and different things, they participate in the losses. Mutual funds have high fees. I can show people that want to, connect how over a lifetime you will pay anywhere from on average $200,000 to over $1 million in a qualifying plan versus a tax-free retirement account. And that is why the wealthy 1% use a tax-free retirement account over anything else. Most of us don't know about it. Our community don't know about it. That's why we're here tonight, to try to educate people about this. Because if you're in a qualifying plan, you're going to run out of money. You're going to pay a lot of taxes. You're going to pay a lot of fees. And so, yes, it's free money if you're getting a match. But after you get out of that match situation, entanglement, then you need to scoot on over and get a tax-free retirement account like the wealthy do. So do like the banks do. The banks are into tax-free retirement accounts. Amazon, all these other big boy companies, they're into tax-free retirement accounts. That's why they don't pay taxes. They have it structured properly with a CPA, and that they're not going to pay. So if you go into some of these little like lowball tax preparation centers, they're not doing you any justice. You need to get you someone that knows how to do taxes, and they'll be able to advise you on definitely what you need to do. They can't get you into the tax-free retirement account like I could, or some of my people that I know, but they can at least advise you on the taxes and how to do that. So make sure you have somebody reputable doing your taxes that can help you keep more money. You might have to pay $100, a few hundred more dollars. People look at, I'm paying all this to get my taxes done, but look at the thousands of dollars that you're going to be reaping by paying that. Some people pay $1,000 just to have their taxes prepared, but you're going to get a whole lot more money back. $20,000 back in taxes. Yes, sir.
Is cryptocurrency a smart investment for retirement?
Not at all. I would say that a lot of people like to invest in certain things so that they can live off the interest. There's nothing wrong with that if it's a long-term plan, but that can't be what you use for your retirement plan. An investment plan is not a retirement plan. Let's just be real clear about that. That could help fund your retirement, but that is not a retirement plan because there's a lot of risk, and you want to take the risk out of your retirement plan. And that's why a tax-free retirement account is the best product out. There is zero risk. You can't lose.
And you know what? And that's the difference as far as receiving the education that we need, because a lot of times people do not understand, like as far as like the planning for ahead, planning for life itself, planning for the unexpected, planning just to be planning. When you fail to plan, guess what? You setting yourself up to fail. So to me, like, even right now, where it's like I told you, based upon like me and you going back and forth, and based upon I watch the growth. I watch the development. I watch everything. I watch when you left Charleston and went to Maryland. I watch as far as when you got Amazon. We used to correspond when you was working as a night manager, running a hell of an operation. And whereas you went out on faith. And to me, even right now, some of the things that we discuss, like if I am even in that position to go out on faith, and you gave me some great advice, and that's what it's all about. So to me right now is like a lot of times I'm not afraid to say I don't know. But at one point in time, I can tell you just about every symbol that went through on the NASDAQ, on the New York Stock Exchange, on the AMAC. I could tell you that years ago because I used to study. I had plenty of time. But, once you lose contact with that and you're trying to get back involved with that, you know what? You got to be very, very cautious, and you got to ask quality questions to get quality answers.
That's so true. So good. You're absolutely right. We have to do that because somebody said something over here and I'm so distracted by the comment, but that's the right thing to do. I will never tell somebody to just leave their W-2. You have got to have a plan coming off your job to step out on faith. You just mentioned I stepped out on faith. So I want to address that in conjunction with Long Beach's comment. He talked about his parents and how they blank.
Yeah, that's the professor I was telling you about. That's the
professor. Okay,
that's the professor I was telling you about, man. My brother BBB.
Yeah. So what you want to do is replace your income on your W-2 before you just jump off a job. And if you want to step out on faith and just do it, I'm never going to, talk about somebody's faith. I'm definitely full of faith. Okay.
Yeah, I know you are.
But at the end of the day, the wisdom is to try to replace the income with your side hustle before you leave your W-2. That's just wisdom. But I will never tell somebody, don't step out on faith, don't step out onto the board, especially if God didn't tell you that. You know what I mean? Do what God told you to do, and you can't go wrong. He's obligated to help you if he told you to do something. He's going to do that. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
See, I like that because once again, you know what I love about
so let me answer Long Beach. I don't mean to cut you off. Mm-hmm. It is not a Roth IRA. It is not a Roth IRA. That is a qualifying plan. A Roth IRA, a TSP, an IRA, 401k, 403b, 457, all those are government qualifying plans. We're not talking about those plans. They benefit the government. Okay. We're talking about a tax-free retirement account. All right. And that is something that you could do, all the things that I mentioned before. And yes, exactly. So it's an index universal life policy that I'm primarily talking about, but that's not the only type out there. It depends on your situation. But the most favored one of the wealthy 1% is going to be an index universal life policy because they can put more money into it. You're restricted in the amount of money that you can put in, or I should say, how should I say it? The best way I can say it is that it's going to compound at a greater level over time than any other policy type out there. That's the best way I can say that. Okay. So that's why the wealthy want to put a lot of money inside these accounts. I had to do money laundering, training for this, because at the end of the day, you have people that stash money inside these accounts. And there's a lot of money laundering with that as well. And so you really have to understand that this has nothing to do with the government qualifying plans. Those things are kind of rip-off, so to speak, because you can lose money in them. There's a lot of risk in them, but there is no risk in a tax-free retirement account. There is no risk. There's zero. The floor, as we call it, is a zero, and you can't lose money in it. Depending on what type, you can get one that can give you a little bit more than zero, but not much, a smidget, like 0.5%, but you don't lose any money. All right. And that's the goal here, is to what Warren Buffett says: keep your money. Don't lose any money. You have to allow your money to make money for you while you're sleeping. Most people would say, well, I'll just buy a term and invest the rest. But 99% of them don't know how to invest. But who knows how to invest better than anybody about our insurance? That's why the banks put their money in insurance. And an insurance policy is more secure than a bank. They only can secure you. They can only insure you for up to $250,000. You can have $1 million in a policy and there's nothing there. There's no, you're not going to lose anything. Let's say you get sued. You can get a lawsuit, and the first thing they coming for is your qualifying plan, and they can get it, but they cannot get your policy money. The cash value in your policy money is secure. Okay. Yeah. We're talking about financial security. If you get lawsuit, and people like to sue today, they love to sue, and they're going to go for everything you have. You won't lose any money in that. So it's so many risks that's taken out with a tax-free retirement account that is just not taken out of those qualifying plans. And the government owns those things, and they can tax that thing. They can partner with you and tax that thing at 50% later on if they want to. Nothing you can do about it, but dig into your retirement account and give it to them, But at the end of the day, tax-free retirement account, that's your money. Everything that's in it belongs to you. Nothing's coming out. There is no risk. You're going to make money. It's going to compound for you. You're going to have a medical bill covered for the most part. Something chronic, critical, terminal, happens to you. You're going to be able to leave a death benefits for your children's children. You're going to have the compounding happening in that. There's no risk. I know I'm saying the same stuff, but hey, I just want to make sure we're clear on a tax-free retirement account and the big differences between that and a qualifying plan. So what other questions are out there? Peace. Yes. Glad you could join. All right. So Ryan, you got any other comments? If not, I don't want to hold the people long. I don't like to be long. I just want to be strong.
You want to be long. You don't want to be long. You want to be strong. I like that. I like that. You know what? Thank you. Right now is for taking the time. This is something that me and you've been talking about for probably like a year or two. And here it is, to just by going back and forth. And even right now, talking today, whereas you let's make this happen. Whoa, wait a minute here. And I like that, because once again, a lot of times what we have to do, we have to be able to visualize it. We have to make it happen. And even right now with my platform, like I try to explain to everybody, this is my ministry. And what I try to do is I try to talk about the good. I try to talk about the bad. I try to talk about the ugly, but I'm trying to talk about how can we empower one another? How can we stop that crab in the barrel mentality? Whereas opposed to with crab, somebody trying to get out that barrel and they pulling them back down. Our objective should be, how do we push them out of the barrel and then turn around and reach and pull the next one out of the barrel? How do we help people get to the next level? How do we help them get where they need to be at in life? Do I know it all? Like I tell people, I am not the smartest, but I'm not the dumbest. I feel like I'm in the middle. So the difference is you got to surround yourself around people that know certain things that you don't know. And there's nothing wrong with that. And my objective, like I told you, I appreciate, like anytime I call you or anytime we email, we go back and forth or whatever, I know right now the support is genuine. And I appreciate that more so than anything, because once again, you're a woman of your word. Whatever you say what you mean and mean what you say. And I appreciate that. And once again, like you say, retire before you expire. Folks, this is only number one. This is only episode number one. What I want, you know what I'm saying, me and Shateka, right now is to get together constantly. And what do we need to do? How do we help our people get to where they need to be at in life? And right now, I'm still learning. And I'm learning from this sister because, once again, she took the time. I'm saying she took the time to invest. She took the time to share different things that she didn't have to do it. But right now is that to show you what's in her. Like, right now, like she said, she lost 2 friends in 2018, 2019.
2018.
2 friends. And right now, even before we got hit with that COVID-19, but yet and still, young ladies, they didn't get a chance to. They put hours and hours and hours, what I'm saying, into their work, into their field. Mm-hmm. And the difference is, what do they come on? So what I'm trying to say right now is somebody can show me how to retire before I expire. Hook me up. I want that. Cut me in or cut it out. I want that, because that's what life is all about. I want to live. I wasted too much of my time the wrong way. I want to live. And when you got powerful people, positive people, people that got that energy, that light, that's shining, give it to me, sister. I want it. I need that. And that's what it's all about. So, folks, listen, thank you for joining us. And this is only part one. Right now is me and the Queen. We'll be working on some other, situation. We will continue this. Retire before you expire. Right now, we'd be looking for a part 2, because we'll be coming.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for allowing me to, again, speak to your audience and to share on this platform. And, my number is going across the screen at the bottom. Definitely reach out if you would like to do a consultation. I do have a few spots open for people that want to do that. Just is very limited, to be honest. I only have a few left, but definitely excited to really, speak to anybody that would like to have a consultation. Just, choose a tax-free retirement account one, but that's the one that's actually going to be complimentary for you. Otherwise, there is a fee. Says, good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Shateka. What is your take on investing in gold? Thank you. All right. Yeah. So gold is, when we think about, items that are going to be around and, just having that financial security, a lot, of people would like to do gold. I'm not particularly doing gold yet. I believe in diversifying your portfolio. So gold is good to do it in. Me personally, I haven't started doing gold yet, but I'm not opposed to doing it. I just haven't chosen gold as mine per se. But I think it's a great product to put your money into. It holds its value. So why not? You know what I mean? But I'm just not into that type of investing. Everybody has their types that they just favor over others. And that's just not really my type right now. I like the security of where I have my funds at right now, but gold per se is a great way to, make sure that you can have, something that's going to hold value. So it is a great, investment, but I just personally haven't done it. Yes, sir. I see the one finger up.
You see the one finger? I got a question from Misty Montero. Where else can we contact you? Twitter, IG, Facebook?
Yes, very good question. I should have had that up, but it's at Shateka Husser. My last name is Husser. I know I didn't put it on there because I want to keep it simple, but it's Husser. So H as in hotel, U as in uniform, S as in Sierra, S as in Sierra, E as in echo, R as in Rome. You can tell I was in the military. So Shateka Husser. Brian, you could actually change that while we're talking if you like, and just put it on there so people have it so they can see it. I can't. I know I'm tasking you tonight, but it's Shateka Husser. Wait a minute. I can edit my name. Wait a minute. Let me edit my name.
Okay.
And then you'll have it. All right. Here we go. All right. There we go. Made that simple. So yeah. So basically, at Shateka Husser on Twitter, on IG. And I'm not really on Facebook that much. And I'll be honest, I'm not on Facebook because I don't have a whole lot of time to do a lot of commenting. So I'm not on Facebook like I would like to be. I will definitely do better at some point soon. But I primarily am on Instagram. I actually have 5 Instagram pages, but you're not going to find me on all of them because I took my name off for personal reasons. But you can find me at Shateka Husser. So. Hope that answers your questions. All right. Jay Bougie, positivity, love it. Scott Watson, thank you for the feedback. Very good input. Misty, thank you, Misty, for being our scribe tonight. Appreciate you, Queen. Thank you very much. All right. So,
and you know what, folks, listen, I want to thank each and every one of you who took the time out to be here tonight. And like I told you, you know, when things happen, sometimes the best thing that happened, that's not planned. Because right now is me and Shateka, we talked this morning and we just went back and forth about different things. And you know what? She said, let's make this happen tonight. I'm like, oh, wait a minute here. And y'all, look, I am not tech savvy. I don't sit here and pretend or whatever. We had to use the FaceTime and start to do this and do that. But guess what? Look what happened. The difference is right now is in order to make it happen, you got to visualize it. You got to talk about it, visualize it, and put it in effect. And I appreciate that. It's all about right now, all wise man and woman seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave, and we can learn from one another. So to me right now is, I love that. Retire before you expire. This is only number one. So the difference is right now is, guess what? Be prepared for number two, because me and this sister right now, what we're trying to do is, how do we help those to be where they need to be at in life? Life's going to happen to each and every one of us. We don't want to be a burden upon our kids or our wife or our parents. So the difference is we got to be prepared. And how we going to be prepared? By making sure that, you know what, we got everything set up. We got right now everything chronological in order, that they can make sure that the way we set everything up, they don't have to worry about the expense of burying us. They don't have to worry about the expense, how the bill's going to get paid, how the mortgage going to get paid, how the car payment going to get paid, how the kids going to go to college. All that will be set up if we do it right, and do it right the first time. Listen, my name is Brian Glaze Gibbs.
You keep sparking something. You keep sparking. Listen, I guess we're just feeding off one another at the last minute. But you talked about those children. And the reason why you spark something is because a lot of people look at children as an expense. The wealthy look at children as an opportunity to make more money. Totally different mindset. Totally. The product that we're talking about tonight, this tax-free retirement account, they use their children to put more money into their account because the child has its own policy. They make another policy to grow for the child. So when the child turns 18 years old, they don't do 529 plans. No, they're not going to do that because they want full control of that money, number one, because that 529 plan can only be used for college. And they can do all these other things with that policy that's going to allow them to have those same tax-free retirement accounts and different things that they're going to jumpstart for them. So when they get to be at retirement age, they don't even have to fund their policy. It's already funded. They're walking in generational wealth with the policy from the beginning as a child. They use that money to start their business, okay, to buy their first home, their car, whatever. A little bit of money. You can start putting money on a child as young as 14 days old. Those people say, I am using this as, look, their children is another opportunity for them to build wealth, not as an expense. It's a completely different mindset.
They hustling from the beginning of the time.
Yes.
That's a legit hustle. That's the difference. That's what we felt realized or whatever.
When a child is 18 or something, they might be a millionaire by then because they're already putting all this money in there.
Yeah. That we don't do because we don't know. How can you do something if you don't even have a clue? Right now in life, what we do is when you are born, the two most important day in life is the day that you're born and the day that you figure out why. But when you are born, you are clueless. The objective is, how do we make sure that before we leave this earth, we're not clueless? We're doing the things that we need to do to take care of ours, to make sure our grandkids is financially secure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
So we'll be on here. Say again.
Jay Boogie, Scott Watson, Misty, Tariq, how you doing? Assalamu alaikum, man. Shebay always tell me a lot of good things about you. The professor, Frank Brennick, guys, Alvin Parker, man. Alvin Parker is like one of my childhood friends, man. Like Alvin Parker, thank y'all for joining in, man. That's what it's all about, folks. Like I told you right now, how do we help each other? You know, it's not about where we've been, it's where we at now. And that's the difference right now is, trust me, like I told you with me, I was once the problem. Now what I'm seeking to do, use this platform. How do I be part of the solution? You know what? And that's what life is all about. Hey, baby girl, queen, thank you. I appreciate you. Guess what? We got to set it up because we're going to do number two, number 3, number 4, whatever, hey, until we get it right.
Very good. I'm excited. I'm definitely ready to have more conversations. Bring your questions. and we're ready to help you. So that's what this is all about. So yeah, we're gonna do this. But Financial Fridays, is that what we're doing?
We can do it Financial Friday, however, whatever convenient. And what I'm trying to say right now is like, it's just amazing how we just started this morning, and look what happened. We talked about it, but anybody can talk. Don't talk that talk if you can't walk that walk. And what I love is the energy, because once again, I can get lazy at times, but you just like more or less took that magnet. Let's go. And look what happened.
Yeah, because tech can be a problem, but we got through the tech, and
I'm not tech savvy. I was struggling, and you was walking me through step by step, man. Anybody know anything about me? I am tech savvy, but the difference is, guess what? I'm not afraid. When you stop learning, when you give up, then you defeat yourself. All wise man seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. And listen, Queen, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your enlightenment. Thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for everything. Because once again, like to me, you have helped me over the years to become a better me and to be more focused on the things that I need to do in life. Because when I think about hustle, I only thought about hustle only one way. But when you show me, when we talk, when you used to be third shift and I'm third shift, you third shift, when we used to powwow and talk about different things, I learned so much. And the difference is right now is when you was able to go out on faith, I'm like, damn, wow, that's powerful. But the difference, your belief system is so strong, so amazing. So guess what? Like I told you right now, listen, whatever we need to do and whatever we can do, let's make it happen. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
My platform is your platform.
Appreciate you, sir. God bless you all. See you all at the top because you belong there.
All right. Hey, thank you for joining. Hit that subscribe button. Listen, here it is, www.shateka.com. Our telephone number, 678-736-6496. Like I tell you right now, is from the few years that I have been following this young lady or whatever, trust me, have her helped me in so many different ways. Help me become a better me. Help me, in every aspect of my life. And I appreciate that, Queen. Thank you.
But I believe in you. I believe in your vision. I believe, and I appreciate you giving back, because more people need to do like what you're doing and go back into the community and give back. And so I really have a lot of admiration and respect for you and what it is that you're doing. So thank you for what it is that you do. We'll give you your flowers back.
Okay. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to end by saying, to be continued. To be continued. Part 2. You know what I'm saying? Retire before you expire. Coming soon. One love.
Right. God bless.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.